the lost city of Atlantis is a mythical city that is said to have existed thousands of years ago. According to the story, Atlantis was a wealthy and advanced civilization that was located somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean, beyond the Pillars of Hercules, which are now known as the Strait of Gibraltar. The story of Atlantis is primarily known through the writings of the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, who described the city in detail in his dialogues Timaeus and Critias. According to Plato, Atlantis was a powerful and prosperous empire that was ruled by a series of kings. The city was said to have been built on a series of concentric rings, with a central island surrounded by water canals. The city was said to be incredibly advanced, with sophisticated architecture, irrigation systems, and technology. However, according to the story, the Atlanteans eventually became corrupt and arrogant, leading the gods to punish them with a series of natural disasters, including earthquakes and floods, that caused the city to sink beneath the waves and disappear forever. Despite the popularity of the story, there is no archaeological evidence to support the existence of Atlantis, and many scholars believe that the story is purely fictional. However, the story of Atlantis continues to capture the imagination of people around the world, and many theories and speculations continue to be put forward as to its possible location and significance. There is a theory that suggests that Atlantis may have been located in the Sahara Desert, rather than in the Atlantic Ocean as traditionally believed. This theory is based on the idea that the Sahara was not always a desert, but was once a fertile region with rivers and lakes. Proponents of this theory suggest that a catastrophic event, such as a comet impact or a massive volcanic eruption, may have caused the rivers and lakes to dry up and the region to become a desert. They believe that the people of Atlantis, who were said to have been skilled in agriculture and irrigation, may have migrated to other parts of the world in search of water and fertile land. The Atlanteans were also said to have been skilled in navigation and had a powerful navy that allowed them to dominate the seas. They were said to have been able to travel to other parts of the world and establish colonies in distant lands. Overall, the story of Atlantis portrays a civilization that was highly advanced and sophisticated for its time, with a level of technology and knowledge that surpassed that of other civilizations of the era. However, it is important to remember that the story of Atlantis is considered by many scholars to be purely fictional, and there is no archaeological or historical evidence to support the existence of such a civilization. According to the story of Atlantis as described by the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, the civilization was said to be incredibly advanced for its time. The Atlanteans were said to have been skilled in engineering, architecture, agriculture, and other areas of technology and science. In particular, Plato described the city of Atlantis as having a sophisticated irrigation system that allowed the inhabitants to grow crops year-round, even in areas that were normally arid. The city was also said to have been built on a series of concentric rings, with a central island surrounded by water canals. The buildings were described as being made of a precious metal called orichalcum, which was said to have been extremely rare and valuable. As a mythical city, the story of Atlantis does not have a definitive end. According to the story, the city was said to have been destroyed by a catastrophic event, such as an earthquake or a flood, which caused it to sink beneath the waves and disappear forever. However, the story of Atlantis has continued to capture the imagination of people around the world, and many theories and speculations have been put forward as to its possible location and significance. Some people believe that the story of Atlantis is based on real events or on a real ancient civilization that has yet to be discovered, while others view it as purely fictional. Regardless of its origins, the story of Atlantis remains a fascinating mystery that continues to inspire curiosity and imagination. It has been the subject of countless books, movies, and other works of art, and its influence can be seen in popular culture to this day.